Yo, what is up guys, Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So this video is another Patreon request. Shout out to Matt on Patreon, much appreciated for support, brother. Essentially the topic here is, as we know, the WBC have introduced the Bridgerweight division. Now that division will be from £200 to £224, so in between cruiserweight and heavyweight. Now this division of course has been met with a lot of backlash. A lot of people are saying boxing didn't need it. Me personally, right now I don't really care about it. However, if it does develop good fights, that's great for us. I don't think necessarily the problem in boxing is the amount of weight classes. I believe it's more so how the sanctioning bodies operate in these weight classes. So for example, too many titles and unwillingness to push for undisputed with the other governing bodies, things like that. That's what I believe is the real problem. But as I said, in regards to Bridgerweight, nobody was really asking for it. However, Matt asked in regards to a division in between light heavyweight and cruiserweight. Of course, light heavyweight is £175 and cruiserweight is £200. So that's a massive discrepancy between those two weight classes. And if the WBC felt it fit to introduce a weight class into boxing, I believe it would have made more sense to actually introduce that weight class in between light heavyweight and cruiserweight. I just think it makes a bit more sense in between those two divisions. You know, historically, there have been guys who have been too big for light heavyweight, but not really big enough for cruiserweight. And ultimately that is down to, you know, the weight discrepancy in between those two divisions. I mean, domestically, for example, Matt brought up a good example, Isaac Chamberlain, the UK cruiserweight. That guy really, he is a small cruiserweight, but there's no way this guy can make light heavyweight. We saw against Lawrence Okoli, yeah, Isaac Chamberlain, he might have ability, he might have talent, but physically, he's not on the same level as a lot of these top cruiserweights. He's really just too small, and, you know, the weight class in between cruiserweight and light heavyweight would actually benefit a guy like Isaac Chamberlain. You could see him making that sort of weight class around 185, 190, 188, whatever it may be, in and around that area. I do believe that weight class would actually benefit a guy like Isaac Chamberlain, and even big light heavyweights. I mean, we look at Artur Beterbiev. Yeah, right now, someone like Beterbiev, he can make 175, but the guy's nearly 36 years old. He's a big light heavyweight, carries a lot of muscle. It's not going to be easy making that weight class as he goes forwards. And when he wants to move up, obviously currently he would have to move up to cruiserweight. And as big as Artur Beterbiev is at light heavyweight, as big and strong as he is, at cruiserweight, he's going to be physically dwarfed by a lot of these guys. You look at a guy like Junior Dorticos, for example, big dude. Lawrence Okoli, of course. There's some big guys in the cruiserweight division. And these guys, of course, are significantly bigger than most light heavyweights moving up. So, you know, a division in between light heavyweight and cruiserweight could benefit a light heavyweight like Artur Beterbiev in the future. Even someone like Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev, obviously a former light heavyweight champion, done some great things in the light heavyweight division. How old is he now? 37 years old? It can't be easy these days for Kovalev to make weight. In fact, when you look at his next fight on January 30th against Bektemir Melikuziev, that fight is at a catch weight of £178. Now, why is that? More than likely because these days he's finding it a lot harder to make that light heavyweight limits, you know? So a division in between cruiserweight and light heavyweight could also suit a guy like Sergey Kovalev. I mean, we can take another smaller cruiserweight, for example, somebody like Andrew Tabiti, the American cruiserweight. We saw what happened when he fought Junior Dorticos. He was dwarfed in that fight. Dorticos was much bigger, much stronger, and physically on a different level to Andrew Tabiti. Tabiti was boxing quite well early on, but he just didn't have the strength to really keep up with Junior Dorticos. So a small cruiserweight like Andrew Tabiti, you know, a division in between light heavyweight and cruiserweight would suit him. My point being, there's a lot of fighters, I believe, who would benefit from a division between cruiserweight and light heavyweight. Maxim Vlasov, the Russian light heavyweight, another example. He's fought at both cruiserweight and light heavyweight. You know, he's a big guy, but probably not big enough for cruiserweight. So there's another name you can throw in there. So you could have the likes of Kovalev, Beterbiev, Vlasov, Tabiti, Chamberlain. You could get some decent fighters in that division, and it would make sense for a lot of fighters. All in all, I'm not necessarily advocating for this division. All I'm saying is I believe this division would have made a lot more sense than the Bridgerweight division between £200 and £224. That just dilutes the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division, as we know, it is the most historic division in boxing. It is the marquee division in boxing. I just don't really believe that messing with the heavyweight division is the right move, especially for the credibility of a new division such as Bridgerweight. I believe if, let's say, Bridgerweight was between cruiserweight and light heavyweight, of course, it would still be met with a lot of resentment and a lot of pushback, but I don't believe the reaction would have been as hostile as it has been with the Bridgerweight division between cruiserweight and heavyweight. That's just my 2 cents, and who knows, maybe in a few years people would actually get used to that division in between light heavyweight and cruiserweight. Cruiserweight, for example, when that division was first introduced, nobody really cared. It's taken a long time for the cruiserweight division to get some traction. And to be honest with you, Bridgerweight as it currently is, I can't see this division being readily accepted for a long, long time. I believe a division between light heavyweight and cruiserweight would have been the way to go. And yeah, I'd be intrigued to hear your thoughts. I felt it was a good topic by Matt, especially given the introduction of a Bridgerweight division. But yeah, share your thoughts below. What do you think of this? It's not a proposal, it's just really an alternative way of introducing a new weight class in the higher weights. But yeah, share your thoughts below. Tell me what you guys think. Peace.